Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is going to be a real quick video, 3-part series. They're going to be all uploaded at the same time, so go check each and every single one of them out because you need to know this stuff in life. And if you get bank loans or anything like that, you need to have this information prepared. So first video, just filmed it, was about income statements, a personal income statement. So keep track of that. Our next video here is going to be about spreadsheets, balance sheets. This is all done on Excel spreadsheets. So this is my balance sheets here. Next video that I'm going to film right after this is how I keep track of my stock investments. So check that one out right after. These are going to be all uploaded at the same time. So check each and every single one of them out. But without further ado, let's get right into this. So just so you guys know, all these numbers are skewed. So none of them are real. So you can't figure out how much money I have as wealth. So what I first recommend is first make a list of every single place you have money. So you got emergency fund, you got how much coins you have, how much cash you have, checking accounts, different investments accounts, PayPal, you know. And then also write down over here, I also included furniture because that would relate to your phone, iPads, Macs, all that stuff, anything that is not like physical, tangible assets, such as bank accounts. Furniture, if you need to sell something, if you go into a ton of debt and you need to sell all of your furniture, you know how much money you have for that. So these are not real numbers. I do not know how much furniture I have in the price, so don't pay attention to that. So that would be the very first step that I did. This is how I did all of it, so don't take it as too much, but I would recommend you do it yourself. So first write down all the money you have. And then you're going to come over here. This is your real balance sheet. This is kind of like a shortened term or a short. It's not as complicated as a real like business assets balance sheet. So if you go over here, Yahoo Finance, that's a great place for investments and stocks. If you want to see their income statements before you start buying into the stocks, which I highly recommend you should do. Okay, so getting back to it, my camera just shut off. But so what you want to do, if you want to search up a real balance sheet to get an example of what it really looks like, you just go to yahoofinance.com. You can just Google this, like Apple balance sheet. First link that's going to show up, Yahoo Finance, and it's going to bring you here to their balance sheet. As you can see, they have a lot more assets and liabilities than what you need to keep track of. And this is categorized by annual, so by the year, and quarterly, so every 4 months they keep track of it. Unless you're super in debt, unless you really have to keep track of your expenses, you don't need to do it that often. I usually do it annually, but if you're super in debt, owe a lot of money, you should keep track of it weekly because you really need to be on top of your expenses to figure this all out. So getting back to it, we're going to go back to my balance sheet over here. So just a quick little overview. I have it by April 2020, April 2021, April 2022. So very first asset, well, if you don't know what assets and liabilities, you need to know what that is. Quick summarization of it. Assets would be money that bring you, they're investments or assets that bring in money. So that would be stocks, dividends, those are assets bringing in money. Liabilities, you want as little liabilities as possible, because liabilities take money out of your pocket. So you don't want any liabilities at all unless you know how to, unless you have a really good understanding of liabilities and cash flow management, because you could take like loans from the bank and make millions of dollars. But you guys are all rookies, I assume, watching this channel, so you should try to get your liabilities down to zero, as I have. So these numbers are very different from these numbers on the side over here, so don't pay attention to that, just for demonstration purposes. So very first category would be cash and cash equivalents. So this is just all the money, like cash, coins, anything that's emergency funds, anything like that. Just going to be over here, it's going to be your cash. Next, you're going to have short-term investments, so this is anything about less than a 3-month period. That's going to be small investments, so that's going to go there. Net receivables, that is the money that is owed to you. So say your best friend owes you $10 for buying him Starbucks. That's going to go there. $10, and that would be money owed to you. And then just any other assets you have, current assets that don't fit into these categories. And then that's going to be a total current assets. And then this is going to be now your section for long-term assets. So this would be a Roth IRA, 401k, or my investment account, Robinhood. Those are going to be super long-term investments. So anything long-term, about 15 grand in that. You could check back my, this is going to be my third video for the day. So my first video of the day, I talked about a really important thing you guys need to know before you start investing. So go check that out. And you'll see right over here how much money I actually have in long-term investments. I think it's about 14 something now because the stocks crashed again today. Getting off topic. Then we're going to go to intangible assets. So this is anything that is non-physical. So say you own a website domain or like a patent for something. That's going to go right over here. That's going to be intangible assets. I don't have any, so 0. And then right over here is just any other assets you have that don't fall into any of these categories. That's just going to be all other assets you have, separate, completely different bank accounts. That's going to go right here. And then total assets, that's what it's going to add up to. Moving down, we come into the liability section. So accounts payable, that is going to money owed, money that you owe to someone minus the money they owe you. That's probably going to be a negative number because it's a liability because you owe them money. So that's going to go right here. Next category down, short-term debt you have. So that's going to be, say your mom gave you $10. You owe the money back to her. So short-term right there. Anything less than 3 months, that would be short-term. And then any other current liabilities. Not sure why it says assets. But any other current liability, that's going to go there. And just add that all up for the total. And then down over here is going to be long-term debt. So say you have like a mortgage or something on a house, depending on the age you are when watching this video. That's going to go there, long-term debt. Mortgages, those are 15 to 20 years. So that's going to go there. And then any other liabilities you have that don't fit into any of these categories, that's going to go there. And then what this equation is going to do is going to separate, or it's going to take your total assets minus your liabilities. If that number is a negative, you have a lot to learn because that should not be a negative number because you want it to be positives. But because I have 0 liabilities, all assets, that number is a big whopping $121,000. So all things considered, that would be my net worth. So if people say, what's your net worth? You know exactly how much it is. Hopefully no one will ask that because that's kind of weird. But this isn't a real number, by the way, just for demonstration purposes. Wink. So, yeah, that's going to be your net tangible assets. But what that pretty much means is your whole entire wealth. So if you say you're wealthy, that number is going to be a lot. So there you guys go. Video 2 of this 3-part series. This was balance sheets up over here. This is a shortened version of a balance sheet. As I said before, you could check out a real one over here. Yeah, so my very next video right after this one is going to be how I keep track of my stocks. So check that one out right after this one. You want to keep track of all of this stuff over here, balance sheets, income statements, so you know exactly how much money you have at any point of your life. So in case you have to make a big purchase or anything of that nature, you know, oh, I only have $2,000 in my bank account. I can't buy a $3,000 MacBook Pro. Yeah, it's just really good to have this information on hand at any given second. So that's kind of why you guys should keep tracking of all your income, purchases, and your total net worth. It's just really good to know this information. And also, banks ask for this information, so you'll kind of need it anyway. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Thank you guys so much. I've seen a lot of growth in the past few days. So very much appreciated. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.